days ago. It's really nice. It makes it makes it so much easier to run everything. We started out writing one ourselves too, and then we were like, we're too lazy for this. Let's go see what we can find elsewhere. So that's a really good program. It simplifies the tournament process a lot because at the event you say, from the opening ceremony you say, whatever tournament you want to enter, go to this site. Sign up, and you're entered. And it takes care of creating the ladder. It takes care of randomizing teams if you want to do that. We've had bad experiences with that. We don't do that anymore. It just makes it way easier. Most importantly, the most important thing to remember is to always try something. If you have an idea, even if you're unsure if it's going to be real popular or not, go ahead and give it a shot. One year we tried to do a frozen t-shirt contest, which is pretty much where you freeze a t-shirt for a week, you pull it out of the bag, and see who can thaw it the fastest. Nobody wanted to play it. That's fine. We tried. You should also always be open about about what your guests have to say about how you're running things. A lot of the guests that you'll have been to a lot of LAN parties, and they may have seen something that you're doing that's been done better elsewhere. And if they come up and tell you about it, they're not trying to be rude, they're not trying to be hateful or anything else. They just want to help you out. They want to make the event better for everyone else and make the event better later on. Now I'm going to talk about securing some media coverage, which tends to be the area that a lot of LAN organizations will miss, especially when they're doing charity events. Every LAN organization that does a charity event should at least try to get media coverage. The reason for that is the stereotype that nerds do not care about the world around them is bogus, to say the least. We do care, but nobody knows it. Whenever you're doing a charity LAN party, make sure to contact a TV station, call up a radio station, let them know what they're doing. At LAN for Life 2006, that was the first event that we had media coverage. And the way we got it is pretty funny. Myself and the president of the Delta Zeta sorority, who was a co-partner in LAN for Life, actually chased down the Fox TV van to let him know that we were doing this. We tracked him down, we got him to pull over, he came up to the barroom and looked, and we were on the news that night because they just thought it was that cool. And since then, I've kept regular correspondence with that TV station as well as another one. So it doesn't matter how you get that first newscast, the rest of them will just fall into place. As I said just a few minutes ago, this helps provide some exposure. It gives you some free advertisement for your event. And it also proves the old people who sit at home watching the 6 o'clock news and saying that this generation doesn't care, doesn't do anything, well, it proves them wrong. They saw it on the 6 o'clock news. It has to be true, huh? Right about this time, right about in this area, you should be around 2 to 3 weeks before the event. If you're not 2 to 3 weeks before the event, chill out and just let things run its course. Right about here is where I like to do what I like to call the stop check. Stop doesn't mean anything. It just means stop and take a look around. A lot of times by this point, it's going to be very clear where you're falling behind, what needs work and what doesn't. At this point, you're also going to want to start checking your equipment to make sure none of your equipment has failed. At TechLAN 2007, which was 2 or 3 weeks ago, I don't remember, we actually found about 2 weeks before that one of our servers had died, which was bad. And we found that, thankfully, because of a check that we did 2 weeks before the event, we found it. We were able to correct the problem, order a new power supply, put it in, and our server, which we lovingly named Bruce Campbell, was able to go through the TechLAN without a hitch. If you're borrowing your equipment from places, which as a LAN community progresses, a lot of times they'll start buying their own equipment. When you're first starting out, you may not own your own equipment, and that's perfectly fine. But if you're borrowing your equipment, you're going to want to make sure that your equipment is still going to be available the day of the event. Because if it's not, if the guy that you asked to bring a switch calls and says, well, I don't have a switch now, what are you going to do? Well, there's not a lot you can do. Find another switch, I guess. Right before the event, it's very important that you have some kind of meeting, whether it's via TeamSpeak, IRC, or like we do, we just show up to one of the rooms at the school. It's very important that you do some organization beforehand. At this meeting, we will talk, we will make sure we'll make sure that there's no question about what's going on. We will set up job schedules, who's working the door from this time to this time, who's going to be checking the food from this time to this time. We hammer out responsibilities, minor responsibilities. We also make sure to get a list of people who can come help set up and come help clean up. Getting people to come set up is much easier than getting people to come help clean up. When you're setting up, it's very important to take a look at your area. It's very important to take a look at your area that you're going to have this LAN party. And you're going to specifically want to make sure that there's going to be no problems. And I can point out one problem that we found that we had with our Tech Center ballroom. If you look back here toward the black area at the back of the picture, you'll see a window. This window, the sun would shine in and it would cause a lot of glare on any TV or anything that was in that area. Our solution to that, cover it with industrial plastic. Nobody complained, there was no more glare, problem solved. But had we not solved that, we would have possibly had to rearrange the LAN area. We would have had to, there's all kinds of things we may have had to do to make our guests happy. It's also very important to have plenty of networking equipment. Every year we find that more and more of our cable ends have gone bad. Don't know why. But it's always very important to have extra networking equipment available because that tends to be what will go bad. At the event, at that point, you should be congratulated because whoever coordinates this or whoever works on the servers is probably at the end of their sanity. So at that point, you need to just have a good time and you need to just pat yourself on the back. If you have a problem that day, don't worry about it. Keep a cool head. It'll work itself out. Just find the solution, fix it, get back to having fun. If people talk about, go around and listen to people at the event as well and see what they like and see what they don't like about the event. It's very important that the guests are having fun because if the guests are having fun, you're going to have more fun. I don't know what to say about cleanup. I would assume that we all know how to clean up after ourselves. So, cleaning up is really just try your best to leave the room in the shape that you found it. That's just generally what we do. For the most part, we will put the trash in a place where it's easy to get to, and we won't do everything to clean up, but we'll try to at least minimize the work that the janitors will have to do. If you'd like more information, my presentation is pretty much over. If you'd like more information about Lanville Gamer Community, you can visit us at lanville.org. And coming soon, I'm going to put a Digital Hope website online. If it wasn't for school, I would have already had this done by now. Promise. That's going to be digitalhope.org. I'm going to be adding forms to it soon, and then I'm going to have a full-fledged website online, hopefully by the end of the summer, where people who want to do Land for Life type events can sign their event up. People can go look and find out what kind of charity things are going on, and then geeks can talk to other geeks about cool things that they're doing to benefit their community. If you'd like to email any questions, if you'd like to talk about Digital Hope, or if you want to just drop me a line and say, hey, you don't know what you're doing, you can just email me at kelcecil@digitalhope.org. And if you guys would be interested, I have a video that one of our guys from Land for Life 2006 made and sent to us. Fan video? All right. I got thumbs up. That'll do. It's slow. Very slow. I can't even see that. Can you guys see that? No. Here, you guys want to come up here and watch? Or I'll bring it back there. I'm done. Okay, you turned it off.